Before you talk about goals, ambition, or plans for 2026, there is a more important question you must answer. Why do you exist? Because any goal set without purpose is nothing more than movement without meaning. And movement without meaning will eventually lead to frustration, burnout, and regret. Purpose is not what you do. Purpose is why you do it. When purpose is unclear, abuse is inevitable. People abuse time, energy, relationships, and even themselves because they do not understand the reason they were created. You cannot manage what you do not understand, and you cannot maximize what you have not defined. People enter a new year with excitement, vision boards, and resolutions, yet they repeat the same cycles. Why? Because they are trying to change behavior without first changing identity. Goals should flow out of purpose, not replace it. If you skip purpose, your goals will lack endurance. They may start strong, but they will not last. Purpose gives you direction. Without direction, speed is dangerous. You can be very busy and still be very lost. A calendar full of activity does not mean a life full of progress. Purpose filters distractions. It tells you what to say no to. It gives you the courage to walk away from good opportunities in order to pursue the right assignment. When purpose is clear, discipline becomes natural. You don't need motivation to do what you were designed to do. You wake up with clarity. You move with intention. You endure pressure because you understand the value of the outcome. Purpose turns pain into training and opposition into confirmation. Rediscovering your purpose requires stillness. You cannot hear purpose in noise. Many people are too distracted to discover themselves. They borrow definitions from society, family expectations, and culture, but purpose is not inherited. It is revealed. You must ask the hard questions. What problem am I designed to solve? What gift do I carry that comes naturally to me but adds value to others? What burden do I feel deeply that others ignore? Purpose is always connected to service, not ego. If your goal only benefits you, it will never sustain you. True purpose is about contribution. It is about impact. It is about becoming a solution in the earth. Fulfillment is not found in chasing success. It is found in fulfilling assignment. As you approach 2026, do not rush into planning without reflection. Before you write goals, write vision. Before you pursue achievement, pursue understanding. Because when you discover why you exist, your goals will no longer feel forced. They will feel inevitable. And once purpose is clear, 2026 will not just be another year. It will be a turning point. Your life will never rise above the level of your thinking. No matter how gifted you are, no matter how much opportunity surrounds you, the ceiling of your life is determined by the condition of your mind. If your thinking is limited, your future will be restricted, not by lack of resources, but by lack of perception. Everything you experience externally is first created internally. Your decisions are shaped by your beliefs. Your actions follow your thoughts. And your results are the evidence of what you consistently think about yourself, your possibilities, and your purpose. If you want 2026 to look different, you must first think different. Many people pray for change but protect old mindsets. They want new results with old beliefs. They desire elevation while holding on to fear, insecurity, and past failure. But transformation does not begin with circumstances. It begins with renewal. Until your mind is upgraded, your life will keep downloading the same patterns. Your mindset determines what you notice. Two people can stand in the same environment and see completely different futures. One sees obstacles, the other sees opportunity. One sees limitation, the other sees potential. The difference is not intelligence, it is interpretation. And interpretation is governed by mindset. You must intentionally deconstruct false beliefs. Beliefs such as "this is just how I am," "people like me don't succeed," or "it's too late for me" are not facts. They are mental prisons. And the most dangerous prison is one you don't know you're living in. If a belief contradicts growth, purpose, or progress, it must be challenged. Upgrading your mindset requires exposure to higher thinking. You cannot think beyond what you consume. Conversatio. NS, environments, information, and influences are constantly shaping your internal world. If you surround yourself with small thinking, you will shrink. If you expose yourself to vision, wisdom, and discipline, your thinking will expand. Your mind must be trained like a muscle. It will resist change. It will prefer familiarity. But growth is uncomfortable because it demands that you let go of mental habits that once protected you, but now limit you. A renewed mind does not deny reality. It redefines possibility. In 2026, you must become the guardian of your thoughts. Not every thought deserves permission to stay. Fear must be confronted. Doubt must be questioned. Negative self-talk must be replaced with truth and intention. What you repeatedly say to yourself will eventually show up in your life. When your mindset changes, behavior follows. When behavior changes, habits form. When habits align with purpose, results become inevitable. If you upgrade your thinking, you won't just enter 2026, you will command it. And the moment your mind expands, your life will be forced to follow. If you desire a different future, you must be willing to live differently. Growth does not negotiate with comfort. In fact, comfort is often the greatest enemy of progress. The reason many people remain in the same position year after year is not because they lack potential, but because they have made peace with convenience. Personal growth demands intentional discomfort. Everything that develops you will first disturb you. Growth stretches your thinking, challenges your habits, and exposes areas of weakness you would rather ignore. But without this stretching, stagnation becomes your lifestyle. You cannot evolve while protecting ease. Comfort creates familiarity, and familiarity creates stagnation. When you get comfortable, you stop asking questions. You stop learning. You stop refining yourself. You repeat what you already know instead of pursuing what you need to become. Comfort convinces you that survival is enough. When you were designed for expansion, growth requires personal responsibility. You cannot blame circumstances, people, or the past and still move forward. Growth begins the moment you accept ownership of your development. No one owes you your future. No one is responsible for maximizing your potential except you. To grow, you must be willing to be inconvenienced. It will cost you sleep, ego, and sometimes relationships. Growth demands study when others relax, discipline when others procrastinate, and courage when others retreat. The next level of your life will require sacrifices the current version of you may resist. Personal growth is not automatic. It must be scheduled. If you do not plan to grow, you will default to comfort. Growth requires structure, time for learning, reflection, skill development, and self-assessment. What you do intentionally today will determine what you experience tomorrow. Discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. Evidence that something is changing. Muscles grow under resistance. Vision sharpens under challenge. Character is refined under pressure. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid development. But if you embrace it, you accelerate transformation. In 2026, choose growth even when it costs you familiarity. Choose learning over leisure. Choose discipline over delay. Choose progress over popularity. Comfort will promise peace but deliver limitation. Growth will demand effort but reward you with capacity. And when you commit to personal growth, you will discover something powerful. You were never created to remain where you started. Growth is not optional. It's required for fulfillment. And the life you desire is waiting on the version of you that is willing to grow into it. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is a decision. And the quality of your future is determined by the consistency of your decisions, not the intensity of your intentions. Many people desire change, But desire without discipline is only wishful thinking. Discipline is the bridge between vision and reality. You can have clarity, purpose, and ambition, but without discipline, none of it materializes. Discipline turns ideas into habits, habits into systems, and systems into results. It is not dramatic, but it is powerful. Most people wait for motivation, but discipline does not depend on emotion. Motivation fluctuates. Discipline functions. Discipline shows up when feelings disappear. It operates when excitement, NT, fades and pressure increases. If your progress depends on how you feel, you will remain inconsistent. Discipline is built in small daily actions. It is not about grand moments. It is about repeated choices. What you do every day matters more than what you do occasionally. Small disciplines practiced consistently will eventually produce extraordinary outcomes. Your daily routines are shaping your destiny. How you manage your mornings, your time, your energy, and your focus is determining where you will be in 2026. Discipline creates order, and order creates productivity. Without order, potential becomes chaotic and wasted. Discipline requires self-governance. If you cannot control yourself, you will always be controlled by circumstances. Discipline teaches you to say no to impulses so you can say yes to purpose. It trains you to delay gratification in exchange for long-term fulfillment. Many people confuse discipline with restriction, but discipline actually creates freedom. When you master your habits, you master your direction. Discipline removes confusion, eliminates distraction, and clarifies priorities. The disciplined life is not a limited life. It is a focused one. In 2026, your breakthroughs will not come from luck. They will come from structure. Structure for learning. Structure for health. Structure for growth. Structure for rest. Discipline must become a lifestyle, not a seasonal effort. You cannot be disciplined only when it is convenient. Discipline must go. Govern your finances, your relationships, your thoughts, and your time. What you tolerate repeatedly will define you permanently. When discipline becomes your daily practice, consistency becomes your advantage. While others start and stop, you continue. While others talk, you execute. While others hope, you build. And over time, discipline will quietly take you where motivation never could. If you want 2026 to be your best year, do not wait for inspiration. Build discipline and let it carry you forward. No one fulfills purpose alone. You may carry vision, talent, and discipline, but without the right relationships, your progress will be delayed. Life is designed to be lived in connection, and destiny is often unlocked through people. Your relationships shape your environment, and your environment shapes your future. Who you listen to will influence how you think. Who you walk with will determine how far you go. Relationships are not just social, they are strategic. They either add value to your growth or subtract from your potential. Not every connection deserves access to your future. Some relationships are seasonal and others are permanent. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Holding on to relationships that no longer align with your direction can silently sabotage your progress. Loyalty without discernment can become limitation. You must evaluate relationships by impact, not history. How does this connection influence your thinking? Does it encourage growth or reinforce stagnation? Does it sharpen your discipline or excuse your dysfunction? Relationships that drain vision, energy, or focus will eventually delay destiny. Strategic connections are not about status. They are about alignment. The right people challenge you, not flatter you. They stretch your thinking, not comfort your excuses. They speak truth, not just encouragement. Growth-centered relationships may feel uncomfortable, but they are necessary for elevation. You must also become the right person, not just look for the right people. Healthy relationships require maturity, humility, and value. If you want access to wisdom, you must be teachable. If you desire support, you must be dependable. Relationships thrive on mutual contribution, not entitlement. Isolation is dangerous. While solitude is necessary for clarity, isolation breeds distortion. When you disconnect from wise counsel, accountability, and community, your blind spots grow. The right relationships protect you from self-deception and emotional drift. In 2026, be intentional about your circles. Choose environments that challenge your standards. Choose conversations that expand your vision. Choose connections that align with your purpose. Relationships should accelerate, not complicate your assignment. The wrong voices can slow your momentum. The right voices can unlock doors you could never open alone. Your future is not only determined by what you know, it is shaped by who walks with you. When you build meaningful relationships and strategic connections, you create a support system for purpose, a framework for growth, and a pathway for impact. And when alignment is right, progress becomes inevitable. A successful life is not measured by what you accumulate, but by what you contribute. Many people spend their lives chasing income, recognition, and comfort, yet never stop to ask a deeper question: what will remain because I lived? Living is automatic. Legacy is intentional. A legacy mindset shifts your focus from survival to significance. When you think legacy, you stop asking, what do I want? And begin asking, what does the world need from me? Legacy thinking lifts your vision beyond personal gain and anchors it in purpose. It is not about impressing people. It is about impacting generations. Everything you do should point toward value creation. Money is a tool. Influence is a responsibility. Success is a platform. None of these are the destination. They are instruments meant to serve something greater than you. If your success does not help others rise, it will eventually feel empty. Legacy is built through daily faithfulness, not dramatic moments. It is found in how you treat people when no one is watching, in how you invest in others without expecting return, and how you pass on wisdom, not just wealth. Small acts of consistency often outlive grand gestures of ambition. A legacy-focused life requires long-term thinking. Short-term pleasure often sabotages long-term impact. You must earn to sacrifice immediate gratification for enduring influence. What you protect today will determine what you pass on tomorrow. You were designed to leave the world better than you found it. Your ideas, integrity, and discipline are meant to outlive you. When you understand this, your choices become more intentional. You steward time differently. You speak with responsibility. You live with awareness. In 2026, do not just aim to be successful. Aim to be significant. Ask yourself, who am I developing? What am I building that will last? What knowledge am I transferring? What values am I modeling? Legacy is not reserved for the famous. It is available to the faithful. You do not need a large platform to leave a lasting mark. You need clarity of purpose and commitment to service. When your life becomes a source of value to others, fulfillment follows naturally. Because legacy is the echo of a life lived on purpose. And when your time is done, success will fade, titles will disappear, but impact will remain. Choose legacy, and your life will matter beyond you. Right. Below is the complete motivational speech script, flowing as one powerful message, built from all 6 keynotes, written in a deep, authoritative, purpose-centered tone, without mentioning any individual secrets to level up your life. And yes, it's worth it. If you truly want 2026 to be different, then you must become different. Years do not change lives. Decisions do. Time does not transform people. Purpose do. Many enter a new year hoping things will improve, but hope without direction produces repetition. If nothing changes within you, nothing will change around you. The future is not waiting on luck, opportunity, or permission. It is waiting on alignment. Goal 1. Rediscover your purpose before you set goals. Before you set goals, you must answer one question: why do you exist? Because goals without purpose are activities without meaning. And a life spent busy but misaligned will always end in frustration. Purpose is not what you do, it is why you do it. When purpose is unknown, time is wasted, energy is abused, and potential is buried. You cannot manage what you do not understand, and you cannot fulfill what you have not defined. Purpose gives direction. Direction removes confusion, and clarity produces discipline. When purpose is clear, motivation becomes unnecessary. You rise each day with intention. Pressure no longer breaks you, it refines you. Opposition no longer discourages you, it confirms you. Do not rush into planning 2026 without first understanding your assignment. Because when purpose is clear, goals stop feeling forced and start feeling inevitable. Your life will never exceed the quality of your thinking. If your mind is limited, your future will be restricted, not by circumstances, but by perception. Everything in your life is first created in your thoughts. Beliefs shape decisions. Decisions shape behavior. Behavior shapes results. If you want new results, you must challenge old beliefs. Mental prisons disguised as familiarity must be dismantled. Thoughts like "this is just how I am" or "it's too late for me" are not truths. They are limitations you accepted without questioning. Your mind must be renewed intentionally. What you consume daily shapes how you think permanently. Conversations, environments, and information are either expanding you or shrinking you. Guard your thoughts in 2026. Not every thought deserves residency. Fear must be confronted. Doubt must be interrogated. When your thinking changes, your life has no choice but to follow. Comfort is attractive, but it is dangerous. Growth does not live where convenience reigns. Every level of growth will demand discomfort. Growth stretches habits, challenges identity, and exposes weakness. But stagnation costs far more than growth ever will. You cannot grow while protecting ease. You cannot evolve while negotiating discipline, and you cannot reach new levels using old versions of yourself. Growth requires responsibility. No one owes you your development. No one is responsible for your potential but you. In 2026, choose growth even when it costs you familiarity. Choose learning over leisure, discipline over delay, progress over popularity. Because the life you desire is waiting on the version of you that is willing to grow. Discipline is not emotional. It is intentional. It is the bridge between vision and fulfillment. Motivation fades. Discipline functions. Is built in small, repeated decisions. What you do daily matters more than what you do occasionally. Your routines are shaping your future quietly but consistently. Discipline creates freedom. When you master yourself, you master direction. When you control habits, you control outcomes. Structure your days, and your days will structure your destiny. Discipline in thought, discipline in time, discipline in focus. In 2026, do not wait to feel ready. Build systems and let consistency take you where excitement never could. No one fulfills purpose alone. Destiny is often unlocked through people. Your relationships shape your environment, and your environment shapes your future. Not every connection deserves access to your vision. Loyalty without discernment can delay destiny. Evaluate relationships by impact, not history. Do they sharpen your thinking or excuse your stagnation? Do they challenge your discipline or weaken it? The right relationships stretch you. They tell you truth, not comfort. They align with growth, not mediocrity. Become the kind of person worthy of quality connections. Healthy relationships require humility, value, and maturity. Your future is not only determined by what you know, it is influenced by who walks with you. Living is automatic. Legacy is intentional. Success without contribution is empty. Money is a tool. Influence is a responsibility. Achievement is a platform. Legacy is built daily through faithfulness, integrity, and service. It is found how you treat people, invest in others, and transfer wisdom. Think beyond yourself. Short-term pleasure sacrifices long-term impact. Significance always outlives success. In 2026, ask better questions. Who am I developing? What am I building that will last? What value will remain because I lived? When your life adds value to others, fulfillment follows naturally.